Hi fancy fans, I'm Sarah and today we're going to introduce you to another watercolor from a video game that is another fan favorite, The Secret of Mana, also an early to mid-90s Super Nintendo video game by Squaresoft. At the time it was still Squaresoft. I just love this game so much. I played it with my family growing up. I always played the girl. The three main characters were named the boy, the girl, and the sprite, and she was this feisty, you know, tomboyish seeming, but of course she dressed like a genie or something. We're going to sketch a composition from scratch, ink it in with archival pins so they won't run, and finishing it off with eye-popping watercolor. Alright, let's get started. Here we are with the pencil composition. At first I wanted to show her feet so I could show her cute little shoes, but then since I wanted a landscape orientation, I couldn't think of how to do that. Maybe with her jumping and you could see her little heels behind her, or sitting, but I ended up just having her stand and not see her feet after all. I wanted her to be in a really strong stance, like she was just about to fight. And I drew her with her brass knuckles on because she fights in the game. She has magic, but she also has her brass knuckles, which over time grow into like some claws and things like that. And she's really feisty and strong with all these weapons. So I wanted to draw them into the composition because that would only make sense. In all of the concept art, she's just like flirty and silly and kind of almost like floating in the air, like tee-hee. But that's not really how she was in the game. She was really feisty. So I wanted to reflect that. And so here we are coming through the inking, and that always just makes it pop some of those thick, thin lines like I've talked about before. Here I am testing the pink on some paper towel. If you have some scrap paper or something, because I wasn't sure if it was diluted enough to be the exact pink I wanted. I wanted it to be like a really light pink with just like a touch of purple in it. And so that actually worked out really nicely. I want to go ahead and put some really deep shadows in watercolor because as it dries it lightens a little bit. So don't be afraid to go pretty dark with the shadows. The other thing, all the concept art, she has pink bracers, but in the video game she has turquoise bracers, or maybe they're little short poofy sleeves on her forearms. It's hard to tell because it's 16-bit, so you have to use your imagination, but they were turquoise for sure. And her headband, which is depicted in different ways. It's a little confusing to see the 16-bit art. I'll show you a little example, but to my mind, it was like the thing you see the genies wear where their little ponytail sticks up really tall out of like a tall ponytail holder. That seemed pretty obvious to me. And in the remake, I'll show you what that looked like. There was the different concept art that was more detailed. She had these little like curly things coming off the bottom of her top, and these little gems and trinkets and things, and like all kinds of floofy stuff. And so I took a little inspiration from the new concept art, but mostly from the 16-bit game art. And for some reason when I was doing my research I could not find the original concept art from the original player's guide, which I think my brother has the player's guide in California. So I couldn't take inspiration from that because I kind of forgot what it looked like from however many years ago. But in any case, it's a conglomeration of both things and using my imagination to come up with my own interpretation of what the girl would look like. She also was depicted in the concept art with pointy ears, which I didn't expect, but when you look at the 16-bit art, you can see her ears might be pointy. It's a possibility. And it looks really cute, so I gave it a shot. And here I put gold tinted mica which is a powdered coloring agent, into my yellow paint to make the gold trim on everything really sparkly. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but when you shift it in the light, it's really, really sparkly. It's so much fun. And for the background, I'm doing the part in the game where they are in the Four Seasons forest, and this is the cherry blossom quadrant, because it's so pretty. And use little drops of water and salt to make the background and petals and the grass in the background be just really textured. I just wanted like blobby, starry, textury colors because it's fun. And I am still learning and getting the hang of landscape art. And I didn't want it to be too detailed because I wanted the girl to stand out from the background, so if it looked a little blurred, all the better. And there we have it. That was so much fun. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And tune in next week for another super fun and nostalgic watercolor.